Hey y'all, it's my review for the Real Housewives of New Jersey, Season 14, Episode 2. We open this episode with the montage with a few of the ladies, and then we're with Danielle as she's bringing her little girl to a photo shoot. I will say, so far, Danielle is way more likable than last season. She's talking about like how it looked like she wants to be a stage mom for her daughter, as well as her kids' clothing business is doing well. And of course it is. Now she has this platform, and she's going to be in New York Fashion Week for it. I gotta say, y'all, she's kind of growing on me. I know it's only the second episode, but when she's not being a pick-me, like, she's pretty likable. So then we find out that Danielle will be hosting the next event where all the ladies are going. It's going to be on the shore. Of course, we're going back to the shore, y'all. But it's to celebrate her husband Nate's celebration of life. It's been 6 years since he had brain surgery for a cyst he had. Usually a celebration of life is a funeral, but I guess it can be a party to celebrate that you're still here after brain surgery. I try. Danielle feels like she's a neutral party between the cast, and all of them will show up. It really is a tricky situation. Like, if you get rid of Teresa, like, she's the common denominator of the divide in the group. You get rid of her, all the ladies can at least, like, coexist. But when you take Melissa out, it's still going to be the problem, because it's like, if you're not on Teresa's side, you're on the other side, and it's going to create a divide. Like, get rid of Teresa. But the problem is, Teresa's the show. She has her rabid fans that think she does no wrong. Her fan base actually reminds me of another Housewives fan base on Potomac who is no longer on there. But it's crazy because I feel like Teresa is the Giselle of her franchise. Yet she's still the most popular. Wow, so we are still with Danielle, and I don't mind. See, last season I probably would have, because they spent a lot of time on her, but we're just hearing some of her family dynamics, and it looks like she's still beefing with her brother, and now she's beefing with her dad. So next scene, we're with Black Dolores and Piggy Pauly. Now, that name might not stick, but he just be getting pink like a pig, and then his face, like, he looks like, ooh, 90s kids. So remember Captain Planet? Oh, what is his name? Hallworth Beasley or something? He was one of the villains on Captain Planet. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And he kind of had like a snout or something. Hoggish Beasley, I think that's his name. But Dolores is talking to him about getting back into real estate. She does remind us that she moved in with Pauly as well. Dolores has an interesting juxtaposition. Like, she enjoys being kept, but she wants to be independent. She's an independent, kept woman. Also, speaking of Dolores, where has Frank been? Is he going to be on this season? So now they're talking about Danielle's event they're going to. Pauly has never gone to the Jersey Shore. Like, he's an Irishman. It's just not his thing. But Dolores is excited to have him down there. They're also talking about his beef with Joe Fuda now. And Dolores just wants him to keep it cordial. I know I was talking about how Danielle is a pretty neutral party amongst the group, but if anyone is neutral on this show, it is Dolores. I mean, she even refers to herself as Switzerland in her tagline. So next scene, we're with Teresa and Louis the Lobster, and of course they're filming this scene in apparel that they're selling. Blah, blah, the same topics. Gabrielle's going off to college, and she loves Louis. Louis is a great man. So they're talking about the upcoming event that's going to be on the shore, and she's saying that she has nothing to say to Margaret, and she also wants to find out some information that could expose Margaret. It's just always somebody trying to come at Teresa, always trying to get a rise out of her. She's never the problem. So next scene, we're with the Gorgas as they're having a brunch to celebrate their daughter Antonia's birthday. So this is a family-only affair, and it's pretty much just Melissa's family. Remember, Joe's only family is Teresa. Okay, we get it. Melissa loves her daughter. She's about to go off to college. She's saying like how much she's gonna miss her. She goes back to when she was pregnant with her. Fast forward. So some time passed by, and I did notice the gays at the end of the table. I think one of them's related to Melissa. He's engaged, and it looks like they want Joe to officiate their wedding. Now, when I saw it, I was kind of just doing a side eye, because I was just like, is this calculated to show that Joe isn't like a male chauvinist or like homophobic or whatever? I mean, I'm not buying it, maybe renting it because I'm skeptical. It just came out of nowhere. But then Melissa starts to get emotional because she says her family has welcomed him with open arms because he doesn't have a family of his own, because of the whole Teresa thing. And not Joe getting emotional too at the table as he's talking to the gays. Okay, we get it. He's sensitive now. Fast forward. Next scene, we're in Teresa's household. She's having a little spa day. She's inviting Jennifer and Danielle over. Right now, she's in the kitchen talking to Gia. Every time I see Gia, I just gag a little bit because we really watched her grow up. She is 22. Like, oh my God. Like, we were watching her saying, waking up in the morning, thinking about so many things. Speaking of Gia, Teresa gives us an update on her. Like, she just graduated college. She majored in criminal justice. I wonder why. And she's back living home with Teresa. So Jennifer and Danielle arrive, and Teresa basically hired this company that has this this booty pad machine that enables like squats. We've seen this before in other Housewives franchises where they have their whole ass out and it's like pulsating with this machine. It's like the new goat yoga and sound bath. Like every franchise has done a sound bath. Okay, fast forward. I do not want to see Teresa's ass. So next scene, we're with the other group of ladies hanging out, Margaret, Melissa, and Rachel, and they're all getting together to play pickleball. Oh my God. So every franchise gonna play pickleball? And can someone please tell me the difference between tennis and pickleball? Because it looks like the same thing. No lie, the very first time I heard of pickleball was when Jamie Foxx's camp came out with that statement trying to prove that he was cognizant and doing well, and he was playing pickleball with his family. I was like, what kind of backwoods country sport is that? So it looks like Margaret is hosting this event for the ladies, and they are really a group divided. So they're just gonna be doing separate events with each other. It's starting to look like the only events where we're gonna get all the ladies showing up if it's for Dolores, Danielle, and Jen Fessler. So we're going back and forth between the two groups of ladies, and we're with Teresa's group, and since ass is the theme of the activity they're doing, they're talking about the Joe Fuda rumor with the double-sided dildo. So we're with the other group, and Melissa brings up that while they're at the shore, they're gonna be celebrating her husband Joe's birthday, and then we find out like where's everyone staying when they go to the shore. So Rachel, she's gonna have Danielle and Jen Fessler by her. Melissa's probably gonna have Marge. Jennifer is gonna be hosting Dolores and Teresa. We're back with Teresa, and Danielle's telling her that she's gonna be staying with Rachel when they're out on the shore. She says that now until she wants her to pick a side. Going back to the other ladies, Margaret is asking Rachel about the rumor her husband was the biggest drug dealer in wherever he lived. And she's saying that this happened 20 years ago. He was 17. This isn't current. We cut to Rachel's confessional, and she's just like the nerve of Teresa trying to bring up her husband's record when she's a criminal herself. Then she tells the other ladies this woman has come out of prison with zero growth, and I totally agree with her. So next scene, we fast forward to everyone arriving to the Jersey Shore. I've never been to the Jersey Shore. I've been to, Atlantic City where they have like the boardwalk. I'm just wondering, is it worth it? Anybody from Jersey in the chat, is the Jersey Shore worth visiting? So as everyone's getting situated in their respective houses, we see the gossip is going on. We're at Melissa's, and she's talking to Margaret about her relationship with Jennifer because Margaret asked her, is she inviting her to Joe's birthday? And Joe is cool with Bill, but I don't think Jennifer and Melissa are cool. She said that Jennifer didn't speak to her at Jen Fessler's party, and she said, why would she speak to me when her bestie isn't talking to me either? We're now at Rachel's house, and Jen Fessler's there, and they're talking about the confrontation with Teresa. Now, Rachel and Joe are telling Fessler, like, that's your friend, Teresa. Now, I hope they were joking when they told Jen that she needs to pick a side. Like, Joe tells her that he doesn't associate with people that associate with her. But I'm like, well, You're on a reality show, you don't really have a choice. Jen does let Rachel know that she has her loyalty. I'm not as close with Teresa as I am with you. Yeah, I can see there's a little contention and foreshadowing coming because Rachel is like, why do you even want to be friends with Teresa when you see how she treats me? Jen then says, well, this entire group tends to say ugly things about one another, and Teresa plays dirty. So if you go low with her, she's gonna go lower. But Rachel doesn't think that's a good argument. So then Danielle arrives, joining them, and I just realized it's all the newbies in one house. And speaking of newbies, I think casting did a great job adding these women to the show. Like, they definitely fit in. I really hate when franchises tend to pick the wrong women. Like, I feel like there's been a lot of one and dones on, like, maybe Beverly Hills especially, Potomac, and I think Atlanta. Anywho, Danielle is telling Rachel and Jen that she hopes there's no drama at Nate's party, as if that isn't inevitable. But okay. So next we're at Melissa's house. I think it's the day of Nate's party. Of course, we see Joe wearing one of Margaret's wigs. He looks like He-Man. So all three groups are en route to the venue. They're all talking amongst themselves. Nothing really interesting. Besides Danielle talking about her hate for Jackie, which is warranted. Jackie started with her first, in my opinion. Don't be mad that she took your spot. Side note, y'all notice that there's never any black people at the Jersey events? Just an observation. This party looks cute though, mostly because there's just such a plethora of food around. Okay, so we're introduced to another lady. Her name is Tiffany Chantel. Like, we've been seeing a lot of camera shots of her. Is she gonna be a part of the group? Her and her husband's a pretty hot couple too. So right now, only 2 of the 3 groups are at Danielle's party. They're kikiing right now. The only ladies missing are Teresa, Jennifer, and Dolores. So as the ladies are all sitting around, they're informing the new girls of just some of the tension in the group and like how Rachel got into it with Teresa. And of course, as they're talking about it, Teresa and the gang pulls up. So as they're arriving, I mean, you can see the looks on Melissa's face, Margaret's face of just rolling their eyes. And then Joe Fudo's like, here we go. Like, when people you don't like arrive, like, stop giving them so much energy. I said that with Candace on Potomac in regards to Giselle, and that applies here. Like, don't give Teresa that much energy. So Dolores greets the other ladies, and Melissa, is every time you see Dolores, you're gonna grab her ass? Jeez. So some of the ladies are mingling, like Jen Fessler is talking to Teresa, Margaret's talking to Jennifer, Melissa's just sitting down chilling. Jennifer, I think, still doesn't acknowledge her. So the party's moving along. There's no drama yet. And then we see Jen Fessler, and Teresa talking. And Teresa wants to talk one-on-one with Jen Fessler. So as they both go over and talk in the corner, I mean, we see Marge and Rachel, like they're just looking like hawks in their direction. So Teresa's basically asking Jen Fessler for confirmation that they met up to take her down at the last reunion. I mean, again, like, who gives a fuck? Like, she does the exact same thing. Like, for the last reunion, y'all don't think she met up with Jennifer and Danielle to get their alliance straight? So Jen Fessler is singing like a canary right now and giving Teresa all the details of what went down at Margaret's house before the reunion. We cut to Jen's confessional, and what she's saying, I still don't see the big issue. Like, Lou is the one who hired a private investigator to look into everybody on the cast as collateral for the shit that he's been doing in the dark. So then Teresa's asking her, what does she mean when she said they didn't execute the plan correctly? Jen says she never said that. She says what she meant was they came in with this manila folder and didn't even use the evidence. And here we go. Jen, Margaret told you not to bring her up to Teresa, and Jen did it anyway, and she wants to know from Teresa about Louis allegedly calling her son. And of course, Teresa denies it. Now, I want y'all to put yourselves in Margaret's position. You're my friend. Like, you've known me longer. I brought you on this show, and you're talking to somebody who I don't fuck with. Like, yeah, you can be cool with her, but why are you mentioning my name? Again, y'all can't make me hate Margaret. I'm sorry. She has not done anything that warrants a side eye from me. Oh, and I also forgot to mention, not only did Teresa deny that Louis called Margaret's son, she says she swears on her daughter's lives. Her daughter's lives. I don't know. I don't play with that. I don't like swearing on people's lives because you don't know how karma works. Even though she said that, I still don't think she's telling the truth. Jen Fessler is now confronting Teresa about what she said about John Fuda. Again, Jen, like, you're closest with Rachel and Margaret. Like, why are you talking to Teresa about them? I would have been like, you know what? Like, let them come over and we can all talk about this. But I think she wants to be in Teresa's good graces. But when she asked about the rumor about John being a drug dealer, she said, do you mean is he one now or when he was 17? Teresa said, of course she didn't mean now. She said, in the past you were a drug dealer. She didn't specify at the party when she was going at Rachel, like, oh, your husband was selling drugs when he was 17. No, she said your husband used to sell drugs. He used to be the biggest drug dealer. Semantics, y'all. Even as I'm listening to Jen Fessler talking her confessional about Teresa, she is enamored by that woman's friendship. Like, she wants Teresa's friendship. You can tell. Like, she's drinking the Kool-Aid, y'all. Like, she's being used for information and doesn't even realize it. And it's the same path that Danielle was on last season. Like, Teresa and Jennifer used her to get at Margaret and Melissa. Ooh, the cameraman cuts to Rachel's face, and she is pissed that Jen even went up to talk to Teresa for that long. We then cut to Rachel and Joe talking to the new girl about the situation between them and Teresa. We cut to Rachel's confessional, and she's saying she feels some type of way seeing Jen Fessler be up Teresa's ass. And she didn't say that verbatim, but that's what she meant. And that is where the episode ends. It looks like Jen Fessler is defecting over to the other side. We'll see. This was a good episode. I was entertained. It looks like production is just putting all the pieces in place before the drama pops off. I would love to know whose side y'all on in all of this. Does Rachel have a right to be, feeling a little perturbed by Jen Fessler? Do you think it was right for Jen to tell Teresa that information? Let me know in the comments. And with that, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all for the next episode. Bye.